Good morning to all the students. This lesson is for class 9th for the subject of chemistry. Topic: factors affecting solubility, which is covered in chapter 3, water, starting on page number 39 of your textbook titled Concise Chemistry by Selena Publication, and is being submitted to you on 19th July 2021. This voice is of Mohinisha Thakur. All students may now please open page number 39 of your notebook in front of you. If all students are ready, then let us start with this chapter. All students may now please listen carefully. Factors affecting solubility. The rate of dissolution or rate of solubility of a solid in a liquid depends on the following factors. Number 1, size of solute particles. So the smaller the size of the solute particles, the greater is its total surface area exposed to the solvent. Therefore, the greater is the solubility of that solute. Number 2 is stirring. In this, the rate of formation of solution is increases when more of the solvent is contact with the solute. Number 3 is temperature. In a liquid, the solubility of a gas is always decreases with rise in temperature, but as the temperature rises, the solubility of most solids in liquids or water usually increases. For example, the solubility of potassium nitrate in water at 20 degrees Celsius is 31.6 grams, whereas its solubility at 60 degrees Celsius is 108 grams. All these above factors affect solubility because in the process of dissolution, the particles of solute merely occupy the spaces between the particles of solvent without undergoing any chemical change. Variation in solubility of a given substance with temperature can be shown by means of solubility curve. Here solubility is plotted along the ordinate y-axis and temperature along the abscissa x-axis. A solubility curve is a line graph that plots changes in solubility of a solute in a solvent against changing temperature. Students, solubility curves of some common compounds are shown in by figure 1, which is drawn on page number 3 of the notes, which is sent on 19th July 2021. Here you can see. So in this figure, it is showing the variation in solubility of some solid with changing temperature. In this, the substances like sodium nitrate, potassium bromide, etc. show considerable increase in their solubilities with rise in temperature, as you can see here. And the solubility of sodium chloride here, the solubility of sodium chloride here increases only a little with increase in temperature. This line is showing. And the solubility of curves of substances like hydrated calcium sulfate, this one, hydrated calcium sulfate, which is CaSO4.2H2O, shows that there is decrease in their solubilities with further rise in temperature. Other examples are ceric sulfate, which is Ce2SO4 whole twice, slaked lime, which is CaOH whole twice, etc. Now we will discuss the anomalous solubility. So there are some salts whose solubility first increases and then decrease with rise in temperature. For example, Ne2SO4.10H2O, Glauber salt. So solubility curve of sodium sulfate decahydrate rises till it reaches 32.8 degrees Celsius and then it falls slightly. This is because that the sodium sulfate decahydrate is hydrous below 32.8 degrees Celsius and anhydrous above it is figure 2, which is drawn on page number 4 of the notes, which is sent on 19 July 2021, as you may observe here. So students, solubility can be used to determine the solubility of substance at a particular temperature. The effect of cooling of hot solutions of different substances can be found from the curves. For example, when a saturated solution is prepared at 40 degrees Celsius and then it is cooled to 15 degrees Celsius, some salt get crystallized out. Effect of pressure and temperature on solubility of gases in water, which is liquid, is given on page number 42 of the chemistry notebook. Students, next we will discuss the topic crystals and crystallization. So what is crystals and what is crystallization? Students, a homogeneous solid of definite geometrical shape having symmetrically arranged smooth plane surfaces which meet forming the sharp edges is known as crystals, whereas a process by which crystals of substance are obtained by cooling at a hot saturated solution is known as crystallization. Some shapes in which crystals exist are rhombohedral, example copper sulfate, which is drawn on the page number 6A part, octahedral, example FeSO4, which is a C part, prismatic with sharp edges, example KNO3, which is shown by the figure D. So in some cases, their beautiful colors are due to traces of water or impurities present in them. For example, the red color of ruby is due to a trace of mercury oxide present in its crystal. In a laboratory, crystals may be obtained by the following methods. Number 1, by cooling a heat saturated solution. Number 2, by slowly evaporating a saturated solution. Number 3, by cooling a fused mass. Number 4, by sublimation. Next, we will discuss the topic hydrated and anhydrous substances. Substances which contain water molecules along with salt like sodium carbonate, decahydrate, Na2CO3.10H2O and copper sulfate pentahydrate, which is CuSO4.5H2O, are hydrated substances, whereas students observe some salts containing water of crystallization by table 3.1 given on page number 43 of your chemistry notebook. Next is water crystallization. The fixed amount of water that is associated with some compounds, which is an integral part of their crystalline structure, is called water of crystallization. Next is a determination of water of crystallization. So students, if we take a non-weight of crystals of a hydrated salt in a china dish and heat it in above 100 degrees Celsius, when the weight of the residue become constant, stop heating with the dried substances. So the weight of crystal at room temperature, we will take A gram. Weight of residual after heating at 101 degrees Celsius, we will take B gram. Weight of water, A minus B gram. So now A gram of crystals contain water, that is A minus B gram. So therefore percentage of water of crystallization is equals to A minus B by A into 100. So substances which do not contain any water molecule along with the salt are called anhydrous substance. Example, table salt is anhydrous sodium chloride and gaseous HCl is anhydrous. Anhydrous can be obtained from hydrated salts by carefully removing the water of crystallization from them. It can be done by direct heating, heating in dry and hot air, heating under vacuum, by using dehydrating, desiccating agents such as warm concentrated sulfuric acid. Now we will discuss the properties. Number 1 is efflorescence. The phenomenon where a compound loses its water of crystallization on exposure to dry air is called efflorescence. Efflorescents are called efflorescent substance. Examples of efflorescent substance. Number 1 is washing soda. It is a hydrated sodium carbonate. On exposure to dry air, it becomes a monohydrate. And the reaction is given on the page number 8, which is on Na2CO3 10H2O. In a dry air will form Na2CO3.H2O plus 9H2O. Second is Glauber's salt. It is a sodium sulfate decahydrate Na2SO4.10H2O, which becomes a powdery anhydrous sodium sulfate when exposed to air. Number 3 is Epsom salt. It is a magnesium sulfate heptahydrate. When exposed to dry air become a monohydrate. Second is deliquescence. So certain water soluble substances when exposed to the atmosphere at ordinary temperatures absorb moisture from atmospheric air, become moist, lose their crystalline form and ultimately dissolve in the absorbed water, forming a saturated solution. Such a substance is called a deliquescent substance and the phenomenon is called deliquescency. Example, caustic soda NaOH, caustic potash KOH, magnesium chloride MgCl2, zinc chloride ZnCl2, calcium chloride CaCl2 and ferric chloride FeCl3. Next is a hygroscopy. Certain substances which absorb moisture, that is a water vapor from the atmosphere, when they are exposed to it but not enough to form solutions, such substances are called hygroscopic substances. The phenomenon is known as hygroscopy. Examples are concentrated sulfuric acid, phosphorus pentoxide, quicklime and silica gel. Next is drying and dehydrating agents. So students, drying agents are substances that can readily absorb moisture from other substances without chemically reacting with them. For example, anhydrous calcium chloride, anhydrous zinc chloride, phosphorus pentoxide, dry sodium sulfate, magnesium sulfate are used to absorb water vapor from the air. These substances are called desiccants or desiccating agents. Next is dehydrating agents. Dehydrating agents are substances that can remove even the chemically combined water molecules from compounds. For example, concentrated sulfuric acid is dehydrating agent as it can remove chemically combined water molecules from blue vitriol, which is CuSO4.5H2O. So dehydrating agents can remove hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 2:1 in the form of water. Suppose if we are heating the cane sugar, which is C12H22O11, in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, it will form the 12 molecule of carbon and 11 molecule of water. Some more dehydrating substances are alumina, which is Al2O3, and phosphorus pentoxide, which is P2O5. Now I will give you a very short questions. You will get a 3 minutes break to write the answers. So the questions are, question number 1, name the substances which show considerable increase in their solubilities with rising temperature. Question number 2, the phenomenon where a compound loses its water of crystallization on exposure to dry air is called dash. And the last question number 3 is, give 2 examples of hygroscopy. Now pause your audio for 3 minutes and write the answers in your chemistry notebook. I hope you all have written the answers by now. Let us check the answers now. So the answer number 1 is sodium nitrate, potassium bromide, etc. Answer number 2, efflorescence. And the last answer number 3 is concentrated sulfuric acid, phosphorus pentoxide, P2O5. Now I am ending the lesson for today by giving instructions and homework. So instructions and homework are, you all are required to listen the audio again and revise all the topics which we have covered today. Do questions 12, 13 and 14 from exercise 3B. Thank you and have a nice day.